Welcome to Clash Phase. It's me, Jamie, with
Matt.
You've got Sam, aka Tank, back here again.
and we've got someone new with us today. Introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, my name's Fraser. Nice to be here.
Nice, good to have you here. Right,
Pulling a
today
double shift.
we'll be talking
Pulling a double
about
shift.
a recent event we did. First European Clashgrounds. Anyone got any opening opinions?
We thought we'd leave it a week or so just to let everything settle. At least then people can have a look at XP Network and stuff, and we're not spoiling anything. So there's going to be hopefully we can give a little spoiler warning or something out on here. So we're not. Hopefully everyone's looked by now. If not, there may be spoilers ahead, obviously for positions and placements and a few other bits. Like I say, we thought we'd leave it a week before we started delving into everything. So let's just stick that out there, just to let everyone know there will be spoilers for rankings and stuff ahead.
Alright. Who wants to go first about their experience?
Do you want to talk about our how each of our individual days went? If we start with, I don't know. Well, you
Start
intro
from
the video.
lowest.
Do you want to start with yourself?
Start from bottom to top, Fraser.
Ooh, throwing shade already.
I'm pretty sure I think that's not true. I think we were the same thing. It's just alphabetical. That's rude, Jamie.
Right, we'll let the person that's joined in with us today.
We'll let Fraser go first.
We'll start with Fraser. Go on.
Yeah, thanks for the
How was your Clashgrounds? But
Sweet
honestly, okay. It was fine. I don't go into these competitions like the last Awakening we've done, the last 3 Awakenings we've done. I've never really gone with a competitive mindset, and the same was here. I went in with a single objective. I predominantly play Alpha Hunters, specifically Moxie. The lads here know. Ever since we started playing this game, I have been predominantly a Moxie player, mostly out of the dual options of I really like Moxie, and I don't know how to play anything else. So I went in with Moxie sort of as a retirement thing for the biggest thing that they've done in Europe, like Europe's last hurrah, and I did something different with the deck. But the real reason I went with Moxie is because there was a bounty, and no one plays Moxie in these competitions in Europe. As a joke, I keep saying I'm Europe's best Moxie. I'm Europe's only Moxie when it comes to these competitions. So, I went in with not very high expectations. First game,
Europe's best flair. I can get that.
yeah. We're joined by Europe's best conquest and your own second best cowling.
Alright.
Hey.
Yeah, first game, fully enough, was against that cowling, Jamie. Yeah, I lost. I lost two.
To
Just before we-
Europe's second cowling. Oh,
Do you just want to bring up the rankings and we'll just talk about them sort of as we go?
can do. 1 second.
Bring them up, and then at least then we
There
can.
we go. Everyone
if
should be
people
seeing
want,
this
segue into it. Then we've got a few bits there as well.
I think that's utter
So-
bollocks that I am below Matt, but okay, never mind. I beat 2 other people, not last.
Why we
We
started
did
from
it.
the bottom, huh? Started
Started
from the bottom,
from
and now you're here.
I mean, technically, he did come last, and now he's 11th. So.
What?
No, I came last to the last Awakening.
Yeah, Matt was the
You
one.
came
I
last
defend
at
that
some
position with
No, I
with
remember
pride.
you actually came.
Can't steal that from me.
You came 4th.
I don't know
at the
about
last
pride.
Awakening, didn't you, Fraser?
Yeah,
Yeah, Fraser did really well at the last Awakening.
yeah. Put some respect on my name, Jamie.
What happened?
Unbelievable.
Go on,
I played.
continue.
I played
Played
Moxie.
Paul.
Anyway, yeah, I played Paul. Like I said, Alpha Hunters are my thing, and I really need to stop. But yeah, first game was with Jamie. We rehearsed. I didn't say we didn't rehearse, but we had
No,
a test. We had a test game the night beforehand with our respective decks, just see if we got a handle of it. And to be honest, it did act like a dress rehearsal. The first game, we did exactly the same stuff. We pulled exactly
it
the
same
same
cards.
cards out,
Yeah.
almost in the exact same order, and it didn't go my way. The second game was a lot better. It was a lot
yeah.
closer, and it was literally the space of one. It was a 1 turn, I think, divide. Where
Definitely.
if Jamie hadn't got me in that turn, I was going to get him next turn. And that was all well and good. I felt satisfied. The deck started to do what it was doing. And then game 2 happened, didn't it, Sam?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Yeah.
Game 2 was a thing. Game 2 existed, and
Are you gonna go over what you played as, or do you want me to say it?
no, I think well, I was talking about Conquest earlier, so yeah, I went back to my OG. I went back to Conquest for this one. Decided I
This
wanted to revamp the deck and look at a few other bits. So yeah,
this
he was back
this
out.
yeah, this cretin played as Conquest and tabled my deck in a combo in 4 turns to the point that even he was surprised he did it.
Yeah, I had
Which-
my bye during that second round, so I was able to purely be there as almost like a secondary judge, and to just be seeing Sam's shit-eating grin in the corner for that first game was infuriating to watch.
Try really
Little
hard
girl
not
laugh.
to, but
I
it
had
was worth
my
it.
I had my head in my hands. I was
I
mourning.
genuinely thought it was going to go into a mental breakdown at one point because
I was mourning the loss of innocence, the future that I could have had. And then we played game 2, and Sam won that as well. But it actually felt like I had a chance, and that was nice because I got armor out and I did some damage. I should actually, yeah, I'll end it. On the first game, Sam took 1 whole damage, and that's because I asked him to let me. Let me hit him. Please, I can't go out not doing any damage. And because he's my boo, he let me do it. Game 3 was nothing. I was on my bye. It was shortly after lunch. I got some pretty great white chocolate cheesecake, and it was sick. Then game 4 happened, and this had to be a must win for me to get into the realm of top 8. And the player I was playing against was a Kagan or a Kargan or however you pronounce that. We go back and forth. Was a Kargan deck. He had to win with that deck in order to possibly grace top 8. I had to win to grace top 8. I didn't make top 8,
As you
but
can
neither
see.
did he. Because I got a draw. I took him down with me. It was great. Everything about my deck worked. Everything that I needed to happen in that second game that got me the win ended up working. It took what 1, 2, 3, 4. It took 5 individual games for the deck to work, but game 6 it worked. But it was a good game. But yeah, I ended the day outside of the top 8 after, you know, 3 games and a bye. I ended up 11th. It says there, yeah, 11th. But because I was the sole player of the Moxie Bounty, I got the Moxie Bounty, and that was great. I technically achieved what I came to accomplish. Had a good few games with my friends, and then even though I didn't need to be there the next day, I turned up and we had a chill time in the next day of the event. But that was that was my Clashgrounds. It went okay, to be honest. I didn't take it all that seriously, because it's a bit of fun in it.
As it should be.
fantastic. All right, who's next on the list? We're just going to go from bottom to top.
That's unfortunately me.
Right, go on.
So for me, it wasn't just a game. I'd bet my whole house on this, and I've lost everything. I will never recover from this. No.
You get for cheating on Flair.
I did have a little bit more of a disappointing time because, as Sam stated, I cheated on Flair. I went for Machina in this, so still non-clash damage because I'm incapable of playing the clash element of Alpha Clash.
Coward.
I only do alphas. That's all I do. And it was a lot more of a glass cannon approach than Flare is. So with Machina, you effectively spam accessories and throw them at your opponent. For me, a couple of times physically, not just metaphorically. And that deals a good 2 damage per time. And that was the whole approach, really, just consistent damage and play defensive while I do it. Game 1 wasn't the greatest. Went against a Avenging Guy deck that had no Avenging Guy. It was just war. It was all war, and it's not pleasant to play against. It destroyed me. I think game 1 lasted about 5 rounds. Game 2 around that point as well. It was It was a terrible start. Game 2, as I said, I got a bye, so I see that as a win. I won game 2, and had to suffer through watching Sam and Fraser battle it out, if you can call it that. Sorry, Fraser. And then I had lunch. I had a lovely homemade lasagna. I had a chocolate cheesecake. I had a can of Monster. It was great. And then back to suffrage. Game 3. Well, yeah, my game 2, but yeah, game 3 was against
Me.
our own Jamie. So this ended up in a draw. It was actually a kind of polar opposites, both games, really. Did I win game 1?
Yes.
Or did I win game? Yeah, I won game 1. Yeah, my plan pretty much worked. Jamie didn't draw what he needed to draw. I think it was still close-ish. And then game 2, it was like Jamie was fueled by anger and just absolutely
How to prove
wrecked me.
Cowling.
Yeah, he had to defend the honour of Cowling. So game 2 absolutely wrecked me in a couple of rounds, fairly easily. And then game 4, I went against the other Cowling of the tournament, against Rich. That one, it's what kind of really ended a frustrating day for me. A massive misplay on my part lost me game 1. Nothing extravagant. I played Flare Explosive Combatant when I shouldn't have. I just got excited when I drew it, you know. Reminiscing of Flare. Just immediately played it, and I should have held fire and given it another round. Laid down some more defences first. So a big misplay, lost me the first game that I had him on, I think, literally 3 health. But game 2 kind of went the same as it did against Jamie. I got absolutely dominated. So yeah, overall for me, it was a frustrating one. You know, I knew after game 1 that I'd brought the wrong deck. You know, I shouldn't have gone Machina. I should have stuck with Flare or Entropy. It's just that mistakes were made, but you got to get through the day anyway, see how far I can get. Yeah, as you can see, I nearly got top 8. You know, wasn't awful. But yeah, a bit of a frustrating one for me, for sure.
Let it be
I like the
known.
idea that you drew
Don't
Flare
cheat.
and it was just like a sign from the gods. Just,
I'm pretty sure he
you drew
won.
it and you just reminisced like, oh look, it's my.
He won his first game against me by using Flare Explosive Combatant. So
Yeah.
It was like a
Just
love
that sign
letter
of
he
you shouldn't have
found.
cheated on me.
It's like a love letter he found from his ex-wife, and then was reminded that maybe he should still be with her. Don't cheat, guys. Bad.
Yeah,
bad
the
talk.
moral is the grass is never greener, folks.
Infidelity
Oh,
does not
should,
get you anywhere.
I should point out as well, based off the fact that Jamie's going to be the next one talking, that based off of the image that you will see on screen, where it says you, it was Jamie that has taken the image, so that is Jazza that is in 8th place there. So I'll pass it over to him, and yeah, we'll see how.
Yeah.
How was your day? You go all right?
It was pretty good.
Should I say 2 days?
Nice.
Because you managed it.
By a thin, very, very, very thin hair. First game you've already heard was against our very, very good friend Fraser. Went quite well. I won both games. I don't know if you misplayed by accident, Fraser, or I just got lucky. Either way, it's how it is. It is what it is.
I misplayed so many times.
There we go.
So many times.
The second game for me was against Papa Pon, also known as Dan from Clashing Teacups. He was playing Death and a variety of other cards within his deck, including War. There was some War minions. There was a Clarity from the Shadows, some other good Death cards. I can't really remember. But it's simple, really. I got annihilated both games. I don't think it was too bad, but it wasn't too good. That was that one. Game 3, as you've heard, was against Matt. Draw. And then game 4 was against the other member of Clashing Teacups, No Pro, also known as Liam. He was playing a Conquest War, and it was very good. It just couldn't do anything against it. He constantly doing damage. Couldn't get anything going. I managed to. Second game was better than the first game. Managed to pull it back a bit, but still, it was just. There's a reason why it was. As you can see, he came where he did. Yeah. Other than that, I had a nice bit of fun. I came top 8, got my mat. We'll show you. We've got a couple of pictures of the mat and the top 8 card. I'll show that after Sam's said about his day. But yeah, nice bit of food as well. Second day we went out for drinks and bit of food afterwards with everyone. Celebrated, meeting up with people from Denmark, just one pack and Lochner, and then our good friend Danny came and visited as well. So we celebrated a bit there. They don't come over very often. Yeah, that was my weekend. Short and sweet. Guess
you should mention your second day as well, because obviously I know you only had the.
I suppose the I suppose I could mention second day.
What did you do your second day?
Although there was a bit of contention that we may not have should have had a second day because there wasn't enough of us, but we'll go over that later maybe. So second day, I got matched up with Connor, or I can't pronounce his actual username. The one at the top.
The first place.
Yes, first place. He was playing Clarity 3, I believe is what it's called. The new Clarity for Spoils of the Vault. The only way I could describe his deck is broken. We had 2 games. Obviously, it was a best of 3, but we had 2 games because he won both of them within half an hour of the 2-hour time limit we had. And I just... The first game wasn't too bad. I got him down to about 12, but he did most of that damage himself by getting out Death the Endbringer. And there's just nothing I could do about it. It was just throwing damage at me with his contender, just constant, like 6 damage, 5 damage each turn. Nothing I could stop. Second game, I got him down a bit more than the first game, but still just relenting damage. And then that was that really. Obviously, we found out after this because that was my first game in winners round 1. Rich, which is Rich Merciless, there was also in top 8. He was the other one that was playing Cowling, and there was a bounty for Cowling. He ended up losing his game against Nefarious Broadcaster, who was playing Lord Krung. But we found out later on that Rich should have won it because, as you can see, he came higher on round 4 standings, but we didn't 100% know that, so we ended up having a game anyway. And then he ended up winning anyway. Very, very close games. Bit of a misplay on me. He won the first game, I won the second, and then he won the third. But we were both on like very low health on the third. I think he was on 3 health and I was on like 7, 5, something like that. But yeah, he ended up taking the Cowling bounty. That's why Fraser said I was Europe's second best Cowling. But yeah, that was a bit of fun. But yeah, I suppose that was it. Could go on to Sam's experience. Was a bit longer than mine.
I'll take it from here. It was we had 2 very enjoyable days. I'd like to say that whenever we play at Leaky Teacup and the little community that we've got here, it's always absolutely fantastic. I mean, everyone's just a joy to be around. It's great. On day 1, I had my very first game. We were laughing. Me and Nefarious Broadcaster got matched up with each other straight away. He is one absolutely titanic player to go against, and he is forever a pleasure to go against, but it requires 110% brain power to play him at all times. We had 2 very, very interesting games, very different to each other. The first game that we played, he absolutely annihilated me. I mean, I would have had to have got a doll out and pointed to a judge as to all the places that he beat me up, because it was just black and blue and sore all over.
But he has a card game, man.
But second game, completely different. Second game, I got a combo off right at the very beginning of the game, and that was basically game. I did to Nefarious what I did to Fraser in the first game that me and him had in the second round, which just worked. The combo came off, and I did exactly to him what he did to me in the first game. So we ended up with a draw. Nice and happy with that. As you heard, my second game was against Fraser. That first game happened exactly the same as Nefarious, where my combo at the very beginning just worked. We had I did think Fraser was going to have a mental breakdown at one point. There was unfortunately there wasn't much he could do, and it was a bit of an abusive game, and I can only apologise and move on with my mistakes and
You're a bastard.
continue. I did manage to win the second game, like you say, like Fraser said, it was a lot closer, and we did actually have a good slog for the second game, which was really, really fun. And it's always fun to play everyone that we play against there. Third game, I was against one of the Danish giants. So I was against Lauritz or Lorkner, who was using the Avenging Guy deck that ended up winning the Avenging Guy bounty. As I believe it was Matt pointed out, there wasn't a lot of Avenging Guy in the deck. It was a lot of war. Fun games. We both played our hearts out. I did manage to win the 2-0, but they were slogs of games. It was some backwards and forwards constantly, and a few surprises on each side that kept the game interesting. Game number 4, I was against Papa Pon. So Dan, he was playing his death. It was a showdown from the very beginning. The very first Awakening that we played and the first league that we played, Dan was playing death, I was playing Conquest. So we had a nice little rematch up there, and whenever me and him play, they are some of the longest games in existence. I don't know why, we just
Wait,
whatever happened.
You saying Dan was your second game?
No, Dan was my fourth.
Okay.
Danny, as in Nefarious, was my second game. Dan, or Papa Pon, was my fourth.
Who was your first?
My first? No, sorry, my first game was Danny.
Yeah.
My first game was Danny. My second game was Fraser. My third game was Lorkner.
And then Dan.
And then Dan.
Sorry.
But yeah, so it was a slog that we went back to right from the very beginning, as predicted, and as always, me and Dan ended up in a tie. I managed to win the first game. He managed to win the second game. Both slogs, both took absolutely ages to get through. And that managed to get me into top 8. So we did get 2 of us from Clash phase into top 8. With Matt literally just stinting it ever so slightly. Yeah, both being very, very, very close. Second day started, so we got through there, got into the top 8 and got into the elimination rounds, and immediately I was paired back up again with Papa Pon. So we had another slog hard fest out against each other. I managed to win game 1 through what I would call the sheer luck. We got right to the very end, and it looked like Dan was going to beat me, and somehow I managed to pull back some form of strategy that just happened to work. Game 1 ended with me winning when I was on 2 health, and he had just finished him off in the last attack. So it was as close could be. Game 2, he got a really, really good combo off. He got loads of Krungs out on the board because he was playing a death discarded. I think there was some war cards in there as well, but he got Krungs out on the board. He got war cards out on the board. He just got me. There was nothing I could have done about it. Game 3, that's where I managed to clinch it up, and I did manage to get really good combinations off, and the game went really well. And yeah, I managed to get the 2-1 victory and go into the semi-finals, where my last opponent that I faced in the semi-finals, because I got knocked out at this point, was the player in first, which was Connor, who was running, as Jamie said, Clarity version 3. We'll speak a little bit about it towards the end of a few little notes and stuff that we've got. But yeah, the deck was absolutely brutal. It tore me apart completely from start to finish. I don't think I survived past round 5. There was nothing that I could do about any of the strategies, any of the plays that were made. It completely ripped me to shreds. So managed to make top 4. More than happy with that at our very first Clashgrounds event. yeah, again, it's been absolutely fantastic seeing and speaking to everyone. It was an amazing event. Props to absolutely everyone that was there. Special props to Dan and Liam for running everything and getting everything set up, and then to AJ and his team as well for looking after us while we were there. It was
It was all pretty smooth, to be fair.
Yeah, everything, I'd like to say that everything ran pretty smoothly. I don't think anyone had any problems. We were all quite happy with each other. Again, it's a fantastic community, so being in and around everyone is just brilliant all the time.
It's all right.
It's all right. I mean, I suppose that's better than like it's bad. You know, got anything more to big up and say? You know, just it's all right, I suppose.
I mean, it's nice people, but you're in it, so.
So I don't know whether if you want to pop up on the screen, obviously. So we did. So this is all of the standings from day one. Obviously, then we had the top 8, where both me and Jamie we made it through into the top 8. So So as far as the end of day 1 stood, these were the rankings here. So we had Connor that was first. We've got Liam in second, Nefarious in third, me in fourth, Dan in fifth, Lauritz in sixth, Rich in 7th, and then obviously the U is Jamie in 8th. So that was our top 8. Yeah, we all had a fun time there. Jamie got knocked out in the top 8 standings when we went on to the semi-finals, so I made it into the top 4. And then after that, unfortunately, all of the Clash phase was thoroughly knocked out, and I believe the last 2 that went through into the finals was Nefarious Broadcaster and Connor. And those 2 had a nice little slugfest all at the top. So for coming top 8, me and Jamie won these wonderful mats and cards, which I'm assuming we're going to get up onto the screen there. Very, very beautiful. Absolutely lovely.
Very, very nice map. And then this lovely, lovely special card.
I don't know about you. I wasn't expecting it to. I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting it to come like bolt plated.
It's
really nice. No. I know you can unscrew it and take it out. I just wasn't expecting it. I don't know why. I was just expecting it to be sealed in like a little, like when you send a card off to be graded in like one of the little.
I suppose it means then you can actually use it rather than it just sitting in a case if you really want to.
Yeah, it was the same for the It was the same for all the bounties. Every single one of them came into some form of little, little plastic case that's been sealed with the appropriate information on it.
See, those bounties, though, I wouldn't mind. I bet it'd be a good idea just to send them off, maybe to get graded, because you can't really use them because there's no information on the cards, because they're like iconic arts, aren't they?
I think you can play them. I don't know what the actual legality is.
You have to have a card of that on the side to show this is what this card is, I believe. When I was playing with my IA Ruthless Warlord.
I believe that is the case.
All right, okay. So they can technically be played, but it's more just for show rather than anything else. So there's
you need a reference to show what it does, basically. Yeah. Because I suppose if not, then your opponent's not going to know the exact effects of the card, or not going to know what's. But yeah, it was quite surprising. I really enjoyed the fact that they came inside that big slab thing. I just wasn't expecting it. I genuinely thought it was just going to be like a grading slab that they came in and not have a big like plate that they were encased in, which was just a really nice touch. I just was not expecting that.
I suppose there's some benefit to it. It's very much like if you have the option for a display, but also if you just casually want to flex, just unscrew it, stick it in a sleeve.
I mean,
oh no, I play suit up. Oh, the top 8 suit up. Here's the heavy power armor.
I don't know why when you said that, I thought about the idea of you having that whole slab in your deck. I was like, you just get down to it and you go, I wonder what my next card is that I'm going to draw.
I think me and Fraser
I've got it. Don't tempt me.
I think the thing that makes it maybe a bit more special for me anyway, and maybe for Sam, is that obviously it says Clashgrounds Retford. Retford's been mine and Sam's hometown for a while. I say while, a very long time.
Your lives.
My whole life, but Sam's not always lived in Retford.
Right.
Most
majority.
Majority,
yeah,
but
most of my life I've lived here. I think it's quite nice to see the fact that it's not just a universal
thing.
It's not just like top 8 Clashgrounds and that's it. It is quite nice to see the location because that makes it more special and more.
Yeah, it's even on the map.
Yeah, it's on the map to show like this was won at Retford, in this particular, like, yeah, it gives a little bit of history to it, especially if you get like a few years down the line, and someone potentially sees it. I don't know. Potentially, if one of us managed to make it off to different events, or we go abroad, or something happens, you end up playing it. And you're like, oh, so you're one of the UK winners. It's like, yeah, it's just
Yeah, they might
it adds
even
a little
still
bit of
use Suit Up. They might have the same, art and everything, but Clashground, London or something. But, you can say this was Retford, this was the OG,
I mean, if there is a
bring some prestige to it, and yeah, it is pretty cool. It is very nice to see to see the effort that has actually gone in of putting those extra little details in that do make all the difference.
Right. Well, that's the good stuff out of the way. Not that there's necessarily anything massively bad out of the way coming. Sorry, but I think this next section we're going to sort of maybe touch on some of the things we think could be improved, or
see what changes we could potentially make, or see what our
suggest.
thoughts are on a few bits and suggestions, and because the Clash Ground is always fantastic, and like I said before, with Liam and Dan running everything went
well.
smooth. It was an absolute blast. With AJ and his team being there and looking after us in the shop and keeping everything running smooth, that all ends up absolutely fantastic. But with all sorts of events, from the smallest thing all the way up to there's always something that we can try and see if we can make things better and make
Especially
things work.
this
And
is
I
the first.
think we've got a few ideas.
Yeah, just a thing before that though. I feel like we need to just address, lads. We're in the first ever one in Europe.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's sick, man. I mean, one of the very best things about these tournaments. I mean, I've participated in every single one. We've done three Awakenings and one Clash Ground, and the feeling of that first Awakening was just like we are the first people to ever do a formal tournament in Europe for this card game, and now we've done the first ever
Competitive
step
tournament.
up, proper competitive tournament in Europe. That's massive. If this game was to reach higher in terms of its reach, we're always going to have that. We were the first. I think that's pretty neat.
Again, it's like it adds the
Definitely.
prestige to it, doesn't it? It's got that little bit of flair in it, just to pique Matt's interest.
Still,
I wasn't listening. I've only just
We
clocked
know.
in now.
Yeah, he heard the word flair, went, what? No.
yeah.
Huh?
Like
Speaking
to,
of, yeah.
if everyone's happy with it as well, just bring out a special thank you very much to some of the players that did travel
Yes.
one
Very
hell
cool.
of a distance to come across. I mean, we've got some people that come across country. We've got Danny O'Donnell, our own nefarious broadcaster that
Full
comes
length.
from hours away, that comes and makes and he sets himself a hotel and comes and stays for the event and whatnot. But not only that, we have, like I mentioned earlier, the Danish Giants that literally just one pack, or Tom, and then his son Lorkner, or Lauritz, whichever way round you want to say it, depending on whether you're in the Discord or not. They have travelled so far to come and take part in this tournament, and I think that really does show how tight all this community is. That it's just, I mean, they're both fantastic. They are absolutely amazing. It is a pleasure having them over, and the fact that they put so much effort in to come and take part, and to come and see us all, and to come and be part of it, it is absolutely phenomenal. So, just like to put an extra special thank you for them as well, for making all of that time and effort to come out, just to come to our little neck of the woods and come and say hi, and yeah, just have an absolutely wonderful time with everyone.
Lads, trip to Denmark next time, I reckon.
Well, I would absolutely love to. We'll go over there and we'll go and invade their space.
Reverse Viking.
Yeah. Avenge our ancestors.
Oh, you don't need to go that far. That was a bit. What is that?
Because I was gonna say, last time I checked, we liked Tom and Lauritz.
I mean, I'll be honest. The Danish are kind of our ancestors, anyway. So
Yeah.
We're not getting.
we're
Don't
British.
get to that. We'll be here
Everyone
forever.
is our ancestors. We've been colonised and reconquered.
That brings us to the geopolitical section
anyway,
of our video.
history out of the way. History.
Yeah, of course.
Please
Right.
stop. Card game time.
Yeah.
We're going to pop up a few little bits and a few ideas that we had. I've been sat thinking about it for a while. I spoke to Matt and Jamie earlier. Had a few ideas about certain things that could be improved. about not just the Clashgrounds, but about the events that happen in general. This is absolutely no disrespect to anyone that runs the events, as we said before, with Dan and Liam and everyone. They've done an absolutely fantastic job. This is more nitty gritty, individual things that we're just going to try and pick apart and see our ideas and see what's going to make things better. First idea that came to mind with us was XP Network, not specifically XP Network based off of the idea of the whole system, more one very, very specific aspect of it. And there's a little bit of backstory here based off of the idea of was it the Last Awakening or was it the Awakening? I want to say it was Awakening 2.
I think mostly it was relevant for Awakening 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
just it was more relevant at the top. So I think it was clearer.
In Awakening 2, myself and Papa Pon were first and second place with identical points. And it ended up basically coming down to the percentages, which in XP Network is based off of your opponent's win-loss rate. So the idea being is that if you're against stronger opponents, then you earn more points. If you're against weaker opponents, you earn less points. So a stronger opponent is dictated by if they win more of their matches, which it works, but like specifically for Awakening 2, we had first and second place with the same points that was dictated by that. We had third and fourth that were in the same points that was dictated by that, and we had fifth, sixth, and seventh that were all at the same points that was also dictated by that. So Awakening 2, it happened quite a bit. It did happen in this, which, I don't know whether anyone spotted from looking at the original list of players when we went through the standings from day one. I believe it was Fraser, Matt, Jamie, and Tara. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That all ended up at exactly the same points, and again were dictated by this whole win-loss condition that was on there. I think the win-loss condition does work to a certain degree, but I think it's really annoying that you have no aspect or play over it. So I came up with an idea, and I'm not sure whether these guys were going to sit down and have a think and see whether we reckon it'll work or whether they've got any other ideas. I reckon it should be based off of the damage that is dealt to your opponent. So say you win a game. If you win a game and your opponent is and you are on like a lot of health, you would earn more points for that based off of the fact that you've basically, I don't want to use the word annihilated your opponent, but you've beaten them down. You would earn less points if your opponent, if it was a close win. So if your opponent managed to beat you back, and you just managed to clinch it, you would get less points. But then vice versa for losing. If you lost and your opponent is on full health, again, you would earn less points. But even if you lost, if you managed to beat your opponent back and back and back and managed to get it, it's like a game with me and Dan, for example, where I was on 2 health and he was on none by the end of it. He would earn extra points for that because he basically almost killed me. He got really, really close to getting the win off. And I think that would be nice just based off of the fact that then you feel like the point system is based off of something you can control. Whereas at the moment,
performance based, like your personal performance.
Because at the moment, it's based off of how your opponent's opponents play, which seems really odd. It is basically completely out of your control as to your percentages because you play your game and it's all based off of the coin flip or the coin toss or whatever you want to call it. That is who are they going to get matched against? Is that going to raise your percentages or is it going to lower your percentages? So yeah, I think finding a way of making it more something that you yourself are specifically taking part in, and like making effort in and making a difference to, I think that's better. I don't know. Have you guys got any other ideas, or what's your thoughts?
No, yeah, I think I agree. I mean, when it came to the Awakening 2, at least, I do think there should have been a tiebreaker for the top. Like, I think in situations like that where there's joint points, yeah, I think there should be some sort of tiebreaker game or something. I don't know. But yeah, obviously in the absence of that being able to happen, I think, yeah, it makes more sense to me having something that's based on your own performance rather than, winning your game's not necessarily being enough to win the tournament. That just seems crazy to me, really. Like it's winning and praying. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
definitely agree.
even after your performance, like you say, it's completely random as to how your opponent is based up against other people. This is no disrespect to XP Network themselves, because I know they do an absolutely fantastic job of making sure these tournaments actually work. It is just a different point of view on it, based off the idea that as a player, it can be quite annoying sometimes when you feel like you've played your heart out, you've done really, really well, you've gone against opponents, but because your opponents did worse than someone else's opponents, you end up falling short of something, which in Awakening 2, I can say from personal experience was myself. And we found out that inside XP Network's system that it was literally a coin flip that decided the opponents for the last game, which ended up meaning that Papapon got more points than I did. Obviously, in this Clashgrounds, we had 4 players that were all at the same point that were squeezing the top 8 position. And again, it was kind of luck of the draw for all 4 of those players as to who actually made it into the top 8. Because it was all based off of those percentages and based off of how their opponents played rather than how they played themselves. Which
I would like to
being
point
just
out is
shy is
not necessarily true. It is, but it isn't.
There's a little bit more that goes into it. It's not specifically just it's because the buys are a part of it as well, and I don't quite know how they affect everything. So it's also important to note that we don't know all the information. This would be more of a question for some of the like Liam and Dan and some of the higher ups there that do know the system, do know a few other bits. There's probably a few little other bits that go into it that we're not fully aware of. But I know
our opinion in the end.
Yeah, it's just that it does just seem that it'd be nice as a player, like I say, as a player, for you to have it so that it's the way that you play that earns you the points, rather than the way that other people play. It seems more of a fair system, in my opinion.
Yeah, like it wasn't so bad at that Awakening 2, with there not being a hell of a lot at stake in terms of, other than the physical prizes that were on offer. But obviously we'll touch on the money aspect of Clashgrounds in a little bit. But, imagine if that were a similar scenario, for that Awakening. Well, I guess it did end up being in the top 8 in a sense. It's when there's monetary prizes at stake as well. I feel like the system needs to be that little bit more fair and performance based rather than percentages and coin tosses and that sort of thing. Not so bad at Awakening, but as the stakes get higher, I think that standard needs to kind of improve, I guess, or at least be more efficient, a bit more fair.
I've got an idea on how we can finish it off. Now you lot have done whinging. I would say does anybody have what was their standout moment of the event? Was the best part of it for everyone else?
I
mean,
don't
for
know about
me,
best part or worst. It's Papapon wearing that costume.
Oh God, yeah, Dan.
I don't know whether that sits as my favourite part or my least favourite part. It's like Marmite in my brain.
Yeah. One of the extremes.
Mental Marmite.
I'm sure that we can pop an image up on screen that you'll probably be seeing now. Just to show you the level of eye abuse that we received.
It was glorious.
It's like you don't know if you want to make it a standard or absolutely never see it again.
I'd actually give here's an actual best moment of the tournament. It wasn't actually in the tournament as such. It was the game that I had against Rich, the last game me and him had, when it was literally down to the wire, and he saved it. I did a misplay, and he saved himself with victory peak. He negated 3 damage, and he was on 3 health. Saved himself, came back to win. That was my moment of the tournament, as it were.
I suppose for my moment was probably just defending my own honor from from Conquest. I've not seen another person bring Conquest to a competitive setting. No Profanity 69 or Liam, he brought his Conquest. He did end up coming above me in the standings, but we did have a Conquest off afterwards, which I did manage to win. So just for my own pride and of the OG tournament Conquest player, just to that's mine. Just
I did
just
almost
so that
expect to see more Conquest, to be honest. Like when the amount of support that they've brought out for it, in Spoils of the Vault, I was expecting to see more. So it's almost nice to see that it didn't completely.
it didn't just everyone turn up with Conquest and that was that. And
yeah. Because hopefully you wish the same when they bring out some Flare support eventually, that everyone doesn't jump on that.
We're all in agreement that we're all going Flare, all three of us.
Yeah,
Me, Jamie, and Fraser, we're all going to go Flare, and we're going to beat you at your own game.
Buying out
Never
the
sleep with one eye
all-explosive
open.
combat.
Sleep with one eye open when that happens. I think my favourite moment, as Kiss RC as this is going to seem, I always I think we can all agree that watching other people play an Alpha Clash game isn't always the most entertaining thing.
If Sam's about to come out of your mouth.
Unfortunately, it is. Watching Sam and Danny, Nefarious, is always an entertaining one to watch. Like that's one of few where I do genuinely enjoy watching other people play Alpha Clash. Is when it's annoyingly Sam, and not annoyingly Nefarious. Like that always to me seems like a.
It's not like we've been friends for 15 years. It's nice to know that you pick Nefarious over me. In fairness, I'd pick
Sam,
Nefarious
just rooting
over
for
me.
him, really.
Yeah, Sam, we've known you for 15 years. That's why we like Danny.
We never
know too much.
It's always a battle of the minds. Just seeing these two, the highest level that Europe kind of has to offer.
And Sam.
There may be a Danny Sam off at some point in the coming Clashing Teacups league.
Well, to be fair, me and Nefarious have never done a best of 3. We'd always do best of 2, and so far he's either won,
pretty much always draws
tournament, or we've both drawn. And and just to tag on to that, it is probably me and Dan have our own little feud because we just always done it. But Danny, or Nefarious Broadcaster, he is one of the most enjoyable opponents to go up against, and I loved the moment that we had. In fact, actually, scrap everything. The best moment for me from the tournament was when me and Danny both got pulled right at the very beginning, and you could just hear in unison from other sides of the room, "Fuck!" Because we just both knew it was going to be one hell of a slog for both of us. It was on one side, I was on the other. We both smiled at each other. We both swore, and we just went, "Oh, come on then, let's go."
It's almost why I was glad that my first game went so badly, because I was right next to you two. I think mine and Lauritz's both games, lasted about 10 minutes each. So we had kind of the remaining half an hour of round 1. I was able to just watch that game, with full focus, not having to focus on my own. So yeah, it's always a very entertaining game to watch, whether it's League or otherwise. So, yeah, for sure.
What's yours, Fraser?
Mine is, I guess I've got 2 that are of equal standing. In terms of the actual game, Moxie having her final hurrah in that very last game that I had, me winning it to get the draw, is probably the stand-up bit, because that is it for Moxie. I think, in terms of competition thing, I've played her for 2 Awakenings and this Clashground. Yeah, it's time for something new. But she went out on a high note, and that's a pleasant thing.
I'm excited for what you'll use next.
I'm not. Yeah, it's not Paul. Stop going on about Paul.
No, it's all Paul.
No, it's Weber.
Paul the Dragon Rider.
I need to do something that isn't an Alpha Hunter. I need to do something different, for God's sake.
Just put a little marker over the Alpha Hunter symbol. and make it look different, and then play Paul.
All the
I'll
absence.
put a sticker over it. Yeah, cool. Um,
Yeah, just
and
put an
the-
alpha sticker over it.
yeah, I'll put an alpha sticker. Paul is jacked now. He can fly. You can't prove anywhere else. He's the best character. He just like me for real.
Filled with mozzarella sticks.
Yeah. Side note: Leaky do fantastic mozzarella sticks. But I think the best point of the tournament for me in general was just the social bit. The
Yeah.
the coming together of a very small European community for this game is always a joy. We get on great with the people that travel here. I mean, Danny, Larrett, Tom, obviously the local group being like us lot, Tara, Dan, Rich, Liam, just great time. It's an excuse to hang out with people that you enjoy spending time with is always a benefit. So irrespective of any result, I feel that was probably the best part of the thing because at the end of the day, most of us are already mates, and we got to play some card games. And Connor's a great addition to that. He's a good lad. I don't mind him. He's alright.
Nice lad he is.
I'm a Yorkshireman. That's like the
I was
highest
gonna
form
say,
of
there's
praise.
no way of making that any more northern than it already was. That's
Yeah.
about as far northern as you can get. Yeah, he's alright. He's like.
I don't express myself with falsehoods and platitudes. He's alright, and that's good in my book.
Right then, if we're all done,
I think so because I think everyone's going to get bored of listening to all of us just
it's a
waffle
very
on for a
long. This may
Yeah,
end up being a part
monotone
two.
shite.
I got
This,
bored
this
halfway
may,
through.
may end up being a two-parter. You'll know by now. Well, that's it. That's our rundown of our Clashgrounds experience, opinions, and some suggestions of improvements that could happen. But yeah, thanks for listening. I've been Jamie.
I've been Matt.
I have been Sam, aka Tank.
I have been and currently still am Fraser.
Well done for you. See you later.